Hey, what's up guys, it's Slick here. I'm back again with another video, trying something new today, something I haven't done in quite a while, and that is a live commentary, sort of counterintuitive to many of the things I do on my channel. But anyway, this is going to be a live commentary. I'm playing a battle. I want to try to win and get to the end and as Superman, but if I finish the commentary beforehand, I'm not going to draw it out and just like add stuff unnecessarily to this commentary just so I can get to the end. I might die and lose. I don't know. I'm not very good at this game. I put the difficulty on medium as you saw there, so it shouldn't be exceedingly hard. Anyway, in this video, I want to specifically talk about my favorite Robin and my favorite Batgirl. Of course, I hope that you know that there's been many incarnations of both Batgirl and Robin, be it different people, right? So, I mean, for Robin, I'll be mainly focusing on 4 identities of Robin, and that includes Dick Grayson, who is pretty much the first Robin as far as I'm concerned. And then as well, Tim Drake, who was the 3rd Robin, actually, and then Jason Todd, who was the 2nd, later became Red Hood. And then finally, we'll focus on Damian Wayne, who's the 4th Robin. But again, there's a lot in between there. You can talk about, Carrie Kelly. There's other, it's not that simple. But for my sake, that's sort of like the final 4. If anybody's going to be my favorite, it's going to be one of those 4, okay? So, I want to narrow that down. Let's talk about Robin first, and then I'll talk about Batgirl, my favorite, explain why, explain just my thoughts on all of these characters, and, hopefully try to get a combo. I can't hit him. I don't know why I can't get a combo going on fucking Doomsday here. Anyway, he kind of looks like Bane in this. Doesn't he kind of look like Bane? Not really, but a little bit. That's a weird costume. I do not like that at all. Anyway, let's talk about my favorite Robin. So, who is not my favorite Robin? Let's do it that way. Let's go down the line. Who is not my favorite Robin? Damian Wayne is not my favorite Robin. So, for my sake, the 4th Robin, Damian Wayne, who is the son of Batman, is not my favorite Robin. And interestingly enough, he's a character I just made a video on recently talking about why. I think he is, and oh, shit. GG. Okay, I made a video explaining why I think Damian Wayne is an intriguing character as an adult, but as a kid, he is quite bratty. He can be a little bit annoying, okay? I don't deny that. I think that that's definitely true when he's a kid. I can relate to what Damian Wayne sort of experiences as like a 12-year-old when I was a kid too, particularly in the way that he doesn't really respect his father. Not the case with the other Robins. You'll see with Dick Grayson and particularly Tim Drake, they very much so respect Bruce and what he thinks about them, and he wants, they want to learn from him. They want his input. Not the case with Damian Wayne. He thinks he knows everything. He doesn't need to learn from Bruce Wayne. In fact, he thinks that in many ways his father is a better, fighter and combatant and crime fighter, and, his grandfather, is better than his father. So, I mean, very much so. You can't really compare it to the other Robins in that sense. It's just so different. But here's the thing to note about this, is that I do think that Damian Wayne, in many ways, has a tragic background. And we'll talk about, the tragic background or lack thereof of Tim Drake and his origin and how that's changed a little bit over time. But here's something that I want, to sort of consider is, once again, when I was a kid, I can relate. My dad would give me pointers when I used to play golf more regularly than I do now. And, my dad would try to tell me, like, a pointer or something to do. I'd be like, okay, yeah, whatever. I mean, because when it's your dad, it's something different than if it's a fatherly-like figure that you respect. I think it's totally different for Robin, the other Robins, than Damian Wayne. But even so, I don't really, I find it quite annoying that he doesn't respect his father. I think he walks all over his dad. I think his dad's a pushover in many ways, in my personal opinion. I think Bruce Wayne is sort of a pushover. Like, he just kind of needs to beat his son around a little bit, beat him up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But then again, he sort of doesn't, because I ran about that in the New 52 book I just read about how he tries to fight his son, and I don't like that. So, I don't know. I don't know what he needs to do. He needs to, like, go to therapy or something. Damian does. Anyway, Damian's not my favorite Robin. He's just not, okay? So I don't want to, I just want to move on. He's not my favorite Robin. He is sort of a brat when he was a kid. I totally agree with people that think that. I totally agree. He's not very likable as Robin. But that's not to say I don't like him as an adult. I think he's an intriguing character as an adult. But that's just me. So now let's talk about Tim Drake. Again, Tim Drake, as I just, sort of briefly alluded to, he is an interesting origin that's sort of convoluted in the canon. The most common origin for him is actually pretty much the only non-tragic background of any Robin, which is assuming that Damian Wayne has a tragic background, which I would argue that he does. In regards to Tim Drake, neither of his parents are dead. They go on the run from the Penguin, but I also have read a comic book recently, and, in comics there is an alternate continuity where his parents are actually killed by Captain Boomerang. Really interesting. sort of change of the canon there. I mean, I don't know what's actually in. I mean, what does canon even mean? You know, and like in terms of Robin's origin, you know, it's very convoluted. But I would say that probably, again, the most common mainstream interpretation of Tim Drake's origin is that of his parents are alive and well. You know, they haven't had necessarily, you know, things to not be scared of, and they've been taken hostage by supervillains, and the Penguin doesn't like them, but, you know, they're alive and well, unlike all the other Robins and their parents. Not to be too harsh. Actually, Jason Todd, in some continuity, his dad is in prison for life, not dead. So, I mean, that's a bonus for him, I guess. But no, all the Robins have very tragic backstories, of course. I'm trying to do this stupid fucking combo. I am playing live, by the way. I told you that, right? I'm not doing very well right now against Harley. Let me try to get my super in here. Boom. Okay. Anyway, like I was saying, Tim Drake, I think, is a likable character, but in many ways, my thoughts on Tim Drake is one that, like, there's nothing really all that special about. Like, I don't know. I don't want to be mean to Tim. He's just not. He's not the man. He's not the guy. He's not my favorite. There's nothing about Tim Drake that makes me like a head over heels Tim Drake fan. Again, I like the character. I like his persona as Red Robin and as Robin Younger, but he's just, you know, there's nothing really exceedingly special about him or something that really gets me excited about the character to see him. I think what they've done with Rebirth is phenomenal with him. He's just not the guy. He's just not my favorite Robin. I mean, there's nothing more to say about it. He's a cool character. I like seeing him. He's not my favorite. Let's talk now about Jason Todd, who embodies a really, really cool persona that is the Red Hood. And one of the things that's interesting, once again, about Tim Drake is that if you really think about Tim Drake, he's sort of like the Robin that is most well known. If you were like my age or any younger, Tim Drake is pretty much your Robin. I mean, Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, of course, have their own personas as the Nightwing and Red Hood. And Damian Wayne's not really Robin that often. I mean, there's separate comic book series about that. But really, I mean, the most popular portrayed Robin in recent times in mainstream culture and media is actually Tim Drake, interestingly enough, which I find fascinating. But in regards to my thoughts on Jason Todd, again, you know, you have all these characters, you know, we rarely ever see him as Robin. I love his interaction with Bruce Wayne as Robin, but you rarely ever see it because it's sort of like in a weird middle time in Bruce Wayne's sort of career or path or whatever you want to call it, right? You know, you see Dick Grayson a lot because he's the first Robin, and you see Tim Drake a lot for the reason I just, you know, you just see him a lot. I can't really explain why, you just do. But you know what you don't see is Jason Todd. I mean, I can count, there's not that many like comic book stories where it's you know, Bruce Wayne and Jason Todd going out on patrol. You just don't see it really. Raven is fucking me up right now. Hold up. I missed it. I went too early. Yep. Damn it. I still have a lot of health though, so I'm not too worried about it.
Here we go.
She's gonna call in her daddy on me. That is her dad. Trigon's her dad, right? Of Asgard. I always think, whenever I hear Asgard, which is Raven's, you know, homeworld, I always think of Azeroth from World of Warcraft or whatever. I just know that from the online game, we used to always make fun of it. So we're gonna beat up Raven really quick, and then I'll finish my thoughts on Jason Todd. So one Batarang should do it. Boom. Okay. Anyway, like I was saying, Jason Todd, you never see him as Robin, so he's not my favorite. Long story short, it's hard to formulate an opinion on him because we don't see him enough as Robin. That's just my personal stance on it. And we never really get to see him enough. But he's great as the persona of Red Hood. I love in Red Hood comic books where we get a flashback to him as Robin, you know, hanging out with Bruce in the cave. Again, he sort of has the same attitude towards Bruce. He doesn't really respect him as much. He also is not exceedingly appreciative of what Bruce Wayne did to him. Jason Todd was living on the streets before he became Robin. Now he's living in a mansion with Bruce Wayne. And you're never really going to see him all that, you know, he's appreciative of it, but he's not like, oh my god, this is so cool. Bruce, you changed my life. How can I repay you? He's not really like that, but Dick Grayson is. Dick Grayson is like, oh my god, Bruce, you saved my life. I mean, I owe my life to you. My parents were dead and you saved me. You gave me a purpose in life. All that sort of stuff. Jason Todd is not like that at all. So in some ways he's unappreciative. Damian Wayne is just a brat. I mean, Damian Wayne is just a little shit. So they're different in that way. They're entirely different characters. Now let's talk about my favorite Robin, as you can assume, is Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson really in many ways is the quintessential Robin. The most popular incarnation of Batman if we're really thinking about it, is the 1966 Adam West Batman. That's just a fact. Most people, including older folks, their memory of Batman and what the most ubiquitous form of mainstream Batman media is the 60s Batman show. Everybody knows it. And maybe number 2 is 1989 Batman. So with that being said, you know, Robin, in many ways, again, it was designed to be the antithesis, in my view, of my opinion, of Batman. Whereas a Bat is dark and scary and ominous, you know, Robin is light, and that's what he was in the show as well. He was fun, he was funny, but he was also just a lively spirit and somebody that was quippy and just fun to be around, overall, a fun spirit. And I think Dick Grayson, more than anything else, definitely more than Jason and Damian, and more so than Tim Drake, embodies that spirit. Not to say that's why I think he's the best Robin. I definitely think that really, in terms of like embodying the spirit of who Robin should be, Dick Grayson is the best. I like him the most as the character. I mean, I love Nightwing as well, but in terms of Robin, I love his interaction with Bruce Wayne. I think it's the most genuine and raw, and for the reasons I mentioned, you know, he's very appreciative of what Bruce Wayne did for him and did for his life. And he has a real calling to crime fighting, much in the same way that my favorite Batgirl does, who I'll be talking about, and I'm playing. You already know the answer. You guys already know the answer, probably, if you follow this channel. But we'll talk about that in a minute. So again, I mean, I really got to focus on Solomon Grundy here. It's starting to get hard because, well, that's kind of like a Hulk move there. I've never seen Solomon Grundy do that. That's like the Hulk in the first Avengers with Loki. Anyway. What was I saying? I like Dick Grayson. You all like Dick Grayson. I like Dick Grayson. Let's move on to my favorite Batgirl. My favorite Batgirl by far is Barbara Gordon, who I'm playing as right here. But for the record, as you just saw with that quip, I'm a pain in the ass. Oh, fuck. I'm fucked. Oh, shit. He can wait before... Oh, my God. He got me. Anyway, what was I saying? What is it? I've never seen a super. He just pulls a tombstone. That's kind of lame. That's kind of a lame super, to be honest. Alright. Oh my god, he keeps jumping over me. Oh, that was cool. Okay, I think I got him. So, Barbara Gordon is definitely my favorite Batgirl. And we see that she... I'm gonna beat up Solomon Grundy. Hold on. I need to collect my thoughts, but I kind of need to focus at this point. Oh my god, you're kidding me. Really, dude? How do you do that? How do you kick somebody? I have no clue how to do that. Well, we're getting the shit beat out of us right now. Hold up. As I was trying to say, Barbara Gordon acts a lot more like Stephanie Brown than anything else in this game in particular. This is more like Stephanie Brown Batgirl. You can see with her quippy one-liners and stuff. And Barbara Gordon doesn't do that as much. I mean, you don't really see Barbara Gordon do stuff like that. I mean, she is cocky sometimes, and she has that quippy attitude, don't get me wrong, but not to the same degree as Stephanie Brown. You know, as I've talked about before, hair is pretty much the main distinguishing factor of Batgirls. Every Batgirl has a different hair color. In case you don't know, there's a lot of different Batgirls. 3 most popular is Stephanie Brown, who's a blonde, Cassandra Cain, who has black hair, she's Asian American, and Barbara Gordon, who has blonde hair, red hair, obviously. She's a, you know, ginger, as you could say. But in regards to... Again, this game in particular, I mean, this is pretty much Stephanie Brown Batgirl and how she acts. I'm getting fucked up right now by Black Adam. This is just not cool. I'm gonna have to... It's gonna be hard to finish the commentary because now I have to actually focus because the people we're playing against are good. Okay. I need to get a combo going on him. Oh my god, I thought I was gonna get the... Okay, I've got my super... Oh, he missed. He missed. I got him. Good. Okay. What was I trying to say? You know, Stephanie Brown, I think, is a fun character, but really, Stephanie and Dick Grayson are kind of one and the same. They act the same. They're very fun. Not a spoiler, but she's very, you know, jovial and upbeat and fun, stuff like that, just like Dick Grayson. And again, Barbara Gordon's not really like that. If you only have played this game, that's what you'll think. But really, actually, the Batman Arkham games, in my personal opinion, is the best mainstream portrayal of Barbara Gordon ever. Much like I think Batman in the Arkham games is the best Bruce Wayne we've ever seen in the mainstream, including all the films. But that's just my opinion. In regards to the other Batgirls, Cassandra Cain also is probably a... In terms of which Bruce Wayne would value more, probably Cassandra Cain would be his answer. Because she's a better fighter than Barbara Gordon. I can see that. I understand that. And a lot of people make an argument that they like Barbara Gordon as Oracle more than Batgirl because she is more useful. You know, Oracle works with the Justice League. Barbara Gordon doesn't. So, you know, she's obviously not a Justice League member as I'm getting my ass beat with her. I think we're going to... Should I switch to play as Robin? Or the commentary's almost over, so I guess I'll just keep talking. But Barbara Gordon is a really, really intriguing character. She definitely has a calling to public service, whether it be as a librarian, she wanted to be a police officer, she wasn't tall enough, and her dad made her, you know, basically, she couldn't do it. And she was just like, she doesn't really have this attitude of like, oh, well, you know, if that's the case, then I'll just do my own thing. It's really just more so she's like, well, I can't become a police officer. I have this calling. I feel like I have this, again, this calling, like almost like I have a duty, a higher duty to public service. Being a librarian, she found she wasn't really aiming to do like what she wanted to do. In the comic book, she talks about how she wanted to help like lower income kids, you know, become more literate. So, you know, like again, a public service side of things, which she found is she was doing clerical work all the time. And actually, the Killing Joke movie unfortunately highlights that a little bit, as much as I hate that film. And I'm sort of beating up on Black Adam right here. I'm happy about that. But oh, this is good. I like this. I like this. I like this. I like this. I think I got him. I think I got him. No, he blocked it. Fuck. It's hard to block Batgirl's ult. Shit. I think he meter burned me, didn't he? That's my favorite move. Oh my god. What was that? A claymore? What? I need to beat him. I need to beat him. So as I said, you know, you guys know I like Barbara Gordon. I don't really need to explain that. So now we're just going to try to beat up on Black Adam, and then I'll end the video here. You know, well, let's see. This is going to be, I might not beat him. I don't know. I might not beat him. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Oh, yep. Fuck. Shit. No way. No way. No way. Hold.
Black Adam wins.
Look at his health.
This will always be a war.
Dude. I suck at this game. Okay, anyway, I'm going to end the video there. You guys get the point. Barbara Gordon is definitely my favorite Batgirl. It's not that I don't like the other ones, but, you know, actually there's a lot of different Batgirls. You probably don't know about all of them. For instance, Lucius Fox's daughter was a Batgirl at one point. Stephanie Brown, Cassandra Cain, you know, a few others that were Batgirls at some point. But Barbara Gordon is definitely the best. And my God Squad Bat Family trio. If I can only have three, and this is what I hope they do in the Batman solo film, which I hope isn't a solo film, but rather a Bat Family film, is, you know, the three, a Batgirl, Robin, and a Batman, is Bruce Wayne, Barbara Gordon, and Dick Grayson, by far the best. And if I'm doing that movie, then they're like 18 and 19, Barbara and Dick, and then they start building a love relationship, because you don't really see that much anymore either. Besides, in the New 52, there was Convergence, which isn't New 52. I'm rambling. You guys don't care. Okay, hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video. Dick Grayson, my favorite Robin. Barbara Gordon, my favorite Batgirl. Leave yours in the comment section below. I'm really interested to see. I know that Robin's going to be a very heated, you know, contest. I'm wondering if people even care about who their favorite Batgirl is. I mean, you guys know I do, but some people might not, or, you know, really consider it. But I know that you guys are going to be going off about who your favorite Robin is. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. My name is Slick Moff. I'll see you guys.